Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Definition, aka your friendly neighbourhood spoiler man, and a lot of leaks have just broken the internet about the Black Widow movie. These were posted by someone who has apparently seen the film, and it stands as the first review of the movie. This video will be covering what happens in the post-credit scene, who Taskmaster really is, and what the user thought of the overall film. There's tons and tons of spoilers in it, so if you don't want anything about the movie potentially ruined, then I highly recommend that you turn off now. As with all leaks, these should be taken with a pinch of salt, but they do line up with prior leaks, and you know we don't like to report on stuff unless we're sure there's a lot of truth to it. Last year we got right the final episode of Game of Thrones, the full Joker movie, Avengers Endgame, Rise of Skywalker, and Terminator Dark Fate, so I wouldn't want to ruin my reputation as the worst person on the internet and get this wrong. Anyway, take that as you will, and with that out of the way, I just want to give a huge thank you for clicking this video. Now let's get into our breakdown of the Black Widow spoilers. Okay, so the review comes from an anonymous user on 4chan that says they were part of a focus group that was shown the film. They didn't know in advance what it would be, but this is the movie that they got to see. Some effects were not fully finished, but it gave an overall feeling of the entire film. The user said that they were pleasantly surprised by the movie, and that it's basically a Mission Impossible sequel with Black Widow replacing Ethan Hunt. They said it works better than you'd expect, and in regards to the plot, there are apparently a lot of similarities. According to the user, Widow has been excommunicated and is being hunted by the government. She has to do the usual get this thing so that life can go back to normal. Oh no, there's a grander conspiracy, save the world, give the thing to your sister, deal with the consequences, and peace out. That thing is a flash drive which pops up in the post-credit scene, but yeah, that was their plot summary in a nutshell. We now know that the Robert Downey Jr. scene is right at the beginning of the movie, and this pretty much kickstarts the entire thing. It opens with Tony Stark telling Natasha that after breaking the Sokovia Accords, that the government is going to come after her harder than the other Avengers because of her history. They know she's dangerous, they know she has the ability to go rogue, and will fight to the death by any means necessary. This warning from Stark helps her get a head start, and it's from here that she travels to Budapest, which is where the movie predominantly takes place. The user said all of the action involving the Skull Guy, who they think is Taskmaster but they don't know because he doesn't have a name in a movie, was dope as hell. They then went on to say that he is Black Widow's ex, which is obvious, but it's pulled off well enough. The 4chan writer clarified this later in the review by saying that the character was Oti Fagbenle, whose name I always get wrong, and this also lines up with earlier leaks that said the characters were one and the same. For those of you who don't know, Taskmaster is actually a master martial artist that is able to mimic his opponent's moves massively. This makes him almost impossible to fight, and he can pretty much counter everything that you throw at him. Now, if you look at the upcoming merchandise for the film, it may be possible that the character has already started copying some of the big names in the MCU. One of the Funko Pops of the character has very similar gauntlets to Black Panther, so he could have taken his style of combat from the character. He of course has a bow and arrow similar to Hawkeye, and one of the helmets of the villain shows that he has a visor with scanners on and an AI system that could be very similar to Iron Man's. I'm guessing all of his stuff was made in China, because it all looks like cheap knockoffs. Oh crap, I can't say that. Not our Chinese overlords. Not in a Disney review. I'm just kidding, China, I love you. You pretty much made everything in my house anyway, so yeah, thank you very much. Anyway, back to the review. The user said that Rachel Weisz is the big bad of it all, and that Florence Pugh and Taskmaster are both working for General Ross. This yet again lines up with leaks that made their way to the internet last year, and though it is possible that the user could have just scoured the internet piecing this all together, it does at least mirror what we've heard so far. Whilst they praised the film in a lot of ways, that doesn't mean it was an overly positive review. The user said that David Harbour was the worst part of the movie, and that he was super cheesy and forced to deliver quips non-stop that didn't really work. They said that Red Guardian, who Harbour plays, dies during the movie, and though it's played for tears, it was actually a welcome goodbye. They complimented the action for most of the movie, saying that a lot of the hand-to-hand fights all worked well and felt real and grounded. However, the user said that, like most MCU movies, the end is just non-stop CGI, and that there is a big helicopter onslaught that is just a mess of effects. We do know that there's going to be a big helicopter part in the film due to the toys and so on, so yeah, this is going to be happening for the finale of the movie. Walton Goggins also has a cameo, as well as Nick Fury and Hawkeye, which we'll get into in just a bit. The user said that some of the cameos work a little better than others, and that the opening with Robert Downey Jr. felt a bit like Leia in The Rise of Skywalker, which is funny because he's not dead in real life. I just found that a bit funny. They also said there's a recurring joke about a chest of drawers that's hilarious. I don't know what the joke is, but I do know a good one about a chest of drawers. I said, wait for it. I said, I put crucifixes on a chest of drawers, and now it's a cross-dresser. Hey, you having that? Hit that subscribe button. Go on, hit it. Anyway, the user said they didn't hate the film, and they gave it a 6.5 out of 10. So yeah, pretty good score. I think for the casual viewer, that's what I would expect them to rate it as. They didn't seem that knowledgeable about the MCU and kept calling Taskmaster Skull Guy, so maybe if you're a more hardcore fan of the film, then it'll be a lot better, and I'm really looking forward to it. The user then went on to answer questions about the post-credits scene, which we'll get into in just a bit. Before we go through that though, I just want to let you know we're giving away a free copy of Dr. Sleep to one random subscriber. All you have to do to be in with a chance of winning is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave your thoughts on the Black Widow news in the comment section below. The winner's going to be chosen at random on the 15th of February, and the set will be shipped out from then to whoever gets the prize, so best of luck to everyone who takes part. Okay, so the film closes out with two post-credit scenes that both take place after the events of Avengers Endgame. The first one follows Florence Pugh's character Yelena and Taskmaster, who are meeting with General Ross to give him the flash drive that is the big MacGuffin of the film. Ross tells them that they're just getting started, and then they cut to black on a tease of the Thunderbolts. Now this lines up a lot with behind the scenes images that we saw of William Hurt, in which he'd been clearly aged up. Hurt looks old, hella old, so it looks like he survived the snap and then aged normally from the events of Infinity War. I did a full video on this and did get some people saying that maybe he's just old in real life, but yeah, they clearly applied makeup, as Hurt didn't look like this at all in 2019 when they were putting together the film. There are rumours that Ross will go on to be the Red Hulk and that Thunderbolts will be the next film with the characters, but according to the user, this doesn't confirm or deny it. However, due to Ross's age and his affiliation and well study of the Hulk, you can see how he would think that this is a chance at the Fountain of Youth that will save him from the frailty and old age that he's now suffering from. The Thunderbolts are a big part of the Marvel Universe, and I'm glad that Taskmaster survives, as he is a character that is a big linchpin of things, so yeah, he deserves more movies as the character. The final credits scene is the cameo of Jeremy Renner, and once more this takes place after Endgame. The user said that they could tell it was the present because he was all tatted up. I hope he has the best haircut ever to be put in a movie, because we defs need more of that mohawk. The scene doesn't tease a return of Natasha, and it actually seems that it closes the book on the character, with Hawkeye being stood at a grave with his kids. So yeah, if these leaks are true, we won't be getting a return of ScarJo. Unless of course the movie makes $3 billion or something and they realise they need her back. Personally though, I think the door is always open to resurrect her, as she died on Vormir, and though Hulk tried to bring her back, if he did bring her back to life, she would still be stuck on that planet. We also know that Steve returned the Soul Stone, so he may have been able to trade it for a sacrifice. We don't know for definite, but yeah, there are a couple of things that could leave the door open for her to come back. But as of now, if these leaks are true, it doesn't look like she'll be back anytime soon. I just want a happy ending for her and Hulk. That's all I want, really. I am pretty happy with how the film sounds though, and it seems to have a lot going for it. And yeah, lots of nice cameos, reveals, and it sets up some good things for the future. Who knows, one of the unannounced films of Phase 4 may be Thunderbolts, so yeah, fingers crossed for that. Now obviously I'd love to hear your thoughts on the leaks and if you think they're true or not. Comment below and let me know, and if you enjoyed this video then please give it a thumbs up, and make sure you check out our breakdown of the behind the scenes information that we have on the Batman, which is going to be linked at the end. We go over all of the news stories and updates, so it's definitely worth checking out if you want to know more. You can support the show by subscribing to us on Patreon, and if you want to come chat to us after the video, you can join our Discord server in the description below, or follow us on Twitter at DefinitionYT. That's the best way to keep up to date with everything we do at Heavy Spoilers, and hopefully we see you over there very soon. This is a channel for people who are super into superheroes, so if that's the kind of thing you like, hit subscribe. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. I've been Definition, you've been the best, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.